everyone, this is Pause or Repeat. Here we figure out whether a game is really worth your time and money. Today's game is Tekken 8. Tekken is a series that has been around since 1994. However, the last Tekken game was released back in 2015, so clearly Bandai Namco felt like now was the time to return to the series. But is now a good time, or will the game feel left in the dust compared to other fighting games on the market? To start off, let's look at the gameplay. The gameplay of Tekken 8 is very familiar to anybody who's played a fighting game, let alone a Tekken game. Like many other fighting games such as Street Fighter, it involves a 1v1 matchup against an opponent fighter. One big benefit of the Tekken series is the eccentric cast of characters, each with their own playstyles. But aside from the characters, the game has introduced a heat system alongside recoverable health, but kept the gameplay similar to previous titles. If it works, then why fix it, right? The recoverable health system is self-explanatory, but the heat system involves activating a new meter of heat that increases your offensive potential. Both features require you to go on the offensive to take advantage of. The point of these features is to keep the flow of battle consistently well-paced, and this additionally helps prevent people from turtling up, as you are incentivized to keep pressure. But how about the story? It has been a decent part of the series after all. To a new player, the story is going to be a little confusing. There is little context given on why characters have the powers they do, among other things. However, at the same time, the story is easy enough for anybody to follow. Kazuya Mishima is trying to gain more power to have a foothold on the world as a whole, and it is up to Jin Kazama, Kazuya's son, to stop him. Along the way, Jin has to come to terms with the power that has been passed down by his father, the power of the devil gene. But now the question still stands. Pause or repeat? Alright, I want to be honest first up. I haven't played a Tekken game until this one for a while. It's been a while.
Oh, you slept on Tekken 7?
Kinda, yeah. It wasn't on my radar, at all, really. Then again, back then, gaming was a different landscape for me. I was more focused on other genres.
Yeah.
But this one was a nice little refreshing experience, actually going back to Tekken and trying this one out. The new addition of the heat system, as well as the recoverable health, was a nice addition to just any fighting game, because it kind of gives you a chance to kind of then compare this to a game like Street Fighter 6, where Street Fighter 6 has the super armor abilities that you can just pull out at any time to kind of break yourself out of a combo, or if you time it badly, you could still get comboed through it anyways. But yeah, this one, it was a great time playing it. I had a fantastic time from start to finish. The game feel itself, just whenever a punch or a kick or anything contacts the opponent, just makes you feel like, yes, I did some damage.
Yeah, I'll give you that. It does feel like a slug fight. I mean, you can certainly win a bout or two by button smashing, that's for sure. But I don't know. I mean, when I'm playing Tekken 8, I just don't feel like it reaches the height of like recent rivals, like you referenced. Street Fighter, you got the likes of Mortal Kombat. This is a really tough competition. But, I have to give it to you. The Namco's new heat system is a great addition. And you got over 32 fighters and over 16 battle stages to fight up against, and 3 brand new faces. That is really, really exciting. And I think the greatest feature with Tekken 8 is their online play. That is going to be the bread and butter to this entire game and for the future of the franchise, because I feel like the story it's cool, but
I said, you're confused halfway through the story if you haven't kept up, because I had to go and actually watch a video recapping some of the previous games for it to make sense for me.
And that's why you kind of understand why the likes of like Mortal Kombat, for example, felt the need that they needed to restart, revamp, go into a different universe, because they understand there's a whole new generation of gamers that don't know the whole history timeline, and how do we engage with them? Well, we got to bring stuff new to the foyer. I don't know about you, Henrik. I know there are over 16 battle stages, but some of them kind of feel a bit lackluster. A lot of people, in the gaming media did reference, like Arena Underground, for example. Super boring, dark, open format. What is this, like the final stage in Super Smash Brothers? Like, what are we doing? And then
hey, at the same time, Chris, fighting gamers are a different breed when it comes to the stages themselves. A lot of people who play fighting games, they want simplicity. They don't need fancy schmancy. Look at the Super Smash Brothers tournaments, for example. A lot of them don't even put some stages into the rotation of matches because they just want that final destination. It's just a platform with two sides, and that's it.
Yeah, but it's like, if you're going to be charging like $70+, sorry, like that, we're gone with the past when it comes to those kind of things. I'm sorry. When Injustice 2 feels like a bit more refreshing than Tekken 8, that's a problem.
Injustice?
It does. I would say Injustice 2 feels like a lot more fun game after a couple weeks going into Tekken 8 than this one. I'm sorry. Like, for me, this is a definite pause. I wouldn't be continuing on with this game. Yes, I do know that, the button smashers out there are going to be loving this game. They've been trying to combat that because of the new heat system, which really you have to hit it with the right opportune strike to really kind of fulfill those kind of heat strikes throughout the game, which I think is really, really cool. But,
Well, Chris, you don't have to be a button smasher in this game. There's a system just specifically for you where you can kind of simplify your combos, but you can still make it feel like you're doing something great.
Is this
you
like
might get countered by people, but you'll feel awesome at the same time.
Are you teasing me about those accessibility features that feel like MLB The Show, where it's like X to pass, square to hit? Kind of removing all the extra features. Do you want a line drive hit? Do you want a ground ball? Do you want to try to go for the home run? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I don't know. We'll see how long the online play carries out. You got a lot of multiplayer games that are really excelling in the year 2024, and I'm still going to stand by that. Tekken 8, the biggest thing that's going for this game is the online play. I just don't know if the concurrent players are going to be sticking around when it comes to the summertime. I feel like this game is going to be very lost and forgotten by the time late May comes around. And for me, that is kind of like one of the main reasons why, I don't always play all these kind of style of fighter games, but this one just doesn't quite hit. But then again, it's not for everyone, like Henrik the Wreck is suggesting.
I mean, at the same time, I will say this, though. This series, for the first time, is doing a live service. And the benefit to that is they kind of can update the game and add in more...
No, that is not a benefit. Those are called patches. They've been doing that without a live service. There's not a benefit to that. You are saying literally every Tekken fan's worst fear for this franchise because they never experienced a live service to their beloved franchise. And so now stuff like cosmetics, in-game items that used to be given to you in the game, now is something that, if you want it, you can pay for it. It's a play to earn. I got corrected before the show. It's not a pay to play. It is a play to earn. But gosh, I guess who would have thought, like Mario Kart, right, that there would ever be DLCs with that franchise. So, things do evolve. And, whether that's a knockoff, I don't quite think so, to be real. Everybody's doing live service games like we've referenced 2 weeks ago. Over 500 studios are embracing this new realm of gaming. But we'll see what's good. But I haven't quite heard it from you yet. It kind of feels like you're kind of dabbling a little bit. For someone who hasn't been playing Tekken for, a franchise or two IPs back, how you vibing?
I think I actually really like it. I really had a great time.
Do you like it or you actually like it?
No, I do. I do really like it. I had a great time playing it. It was a bit confusing, like I said, with the story, but the story is never really like a big focus for this sort of game. It's more so, like you were saying, the online play against other people. And this game has rollback netcode, which is something that's pretty much essential for a fighting game in 2024. And that makes it actually enjoyable rather than not having rollback netcode, where
it's also very enjoyable.
If someone doesn't have a great connection, you're not gonna have a good time if it doesn't have that.
That's true too, but what's also enjoyable, which is a big credit to Namco, which is basically the cues. You know, you could get a rematch really fast, and you know the lag is not very jittery at all. That's a major plus, because I know that's been a big debate with the fighting community, especially with like how rapid fire and how you gotta parry and block, you know, and you got a bad connection. It's like, well, what the hell am I playing online play for? If we're not getting that like kind of real time movement, it completely defeats the purpose. So that is a great movement, but I still feel like these fighter games need to evolve. They need to do what Street Fighter's doing. Do an open world format. You have all this amazing landscape, but you don't do anything with the background. You know, if anything, you got wall hazards and all that other dumb shit. Evolve, please, evolve. Tekken, for the love of.
So it's a pause for you. I'm gonna say it's a repeat for me. But here's the question: between the three, Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, or Mortal Kombat 1, what's your ranking for those?
Man, dude, you know, I have to still say I'm being biased here. You know, Mortal Kombat, it's because I grew up with it. You know, you fall in love with those iconic characters. And then I'd say Street Fighter, just because I love the open world format. It was such a refreshing change. And then yes, Tekken is clearly the last of the three.
Fair enough. I mean, I can definitely see there's, you know, great things in each of them, but my ranking would definitely be Street Fighter 6, then Tekken 8, then Mortal Kombat 1.
Okay. You know, okay.
Wasn't really vibing too much with some of the changes in Mortal Kombat 1, clearly.
See, this is what's going to be great inside the comments section. So we definitely want to hear from you guys. Like, what are you vibing with? What are the top 3 fighting games out there? We want to know.
And maybe it's not even one of those. I mean, there's other fighting games that came out even this year. So
that's true. So there's a lot of options.